Adam Laxalt is running for, I believe, United States Senate in Nevada. So he would be a United States Senator if he were to get elected. He's running against Catherine Cortez-Masto, who's the sitting senator. Okay? Same thing in that state. Namely, that the Democrat doesn't want to debate. So in the Daily Caller, Republican Nevada Senate candidate Adam Laxalt will release an advertisement Tuesday, which is today, that includes a number of law enforcement officials saying Democrat Nevada Senator Catherine Cortez-Masto is dangerous for the state, and they will be supporting Laxalt in November. The ad is titled Dangerous, and it is being put out today by Adam Laxalt. Now, keep in mind, Adam Laxalt is currently slightly ahead or even, depending on which poll that you actually look at. As you can imagine, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat is not only not being asked questions, so the media in Nevada is not asking the Democrat to defend her policy of letting criminals out of prison and at the same time not charging people who are committing crimes. So the state is less safe than it's ever been. So the media isn't asking any of those questions. Additionally, of course, Catherine Cortez-Masto doesn't want any debates. Why would she? She can't defend her policies. I'm bringing this particular race up, because I think this is a critical issue in all states that have urban areas, where the urban areas kind of wag the tail of the rest of the state. The urban areas have the largest voting block of the entire state, which, of course, in the state of Nevada would be Las Vegas, of course, right? Las Vegas is clearly left of center, but there are enormous numbers of Hispanics in Las Vegas. They actually make the city work. And I'm pretty sure they didn't come to the United States in order to be victimized again, like they were back at home, by criminals and by lawlessness. So Adam Laxalt, understanding this, has decided to go ahead and run this ad. We have the ad. It's fantastic. And here it is.
I'm Adam Laxalt, and I approve this message.
Catherine Cortez-Masto pretends to support law enforcement,
but voted to rubber stamp radical officials,
including activists who refused to prosecute drug dealers,
and supported defunding police.
Cortez-Masto called police racist.
And when a local officer was shot in the head
during riots she encouraged,
she didn't say a word.
We retract our endorsement.
We retract our endorsement.
We retract our endorsement of Catherine Cortez-Masto.
Catherine Cortez-Masto is dangerous for police.
And dangerous for Nevada.
See, so this is what should happen in a normally functioning republic. In a normally functioning republic, when you had a debate, you would have police unions and teachers unions, as well as independent groups and unaffiliated groups and any kind of interest groups who would be able to make their decisions based on who they were going to endorse in a race on actual policy differences. So Adam Laxalt, of course, has done a great job, because initially the police union, as you just heard, supported Catherine Cortez-Masto when she ran for Senate, U.S. Senate the first time and won. And now they realize that she is the cancel the police idiot like the rest of the Democrat Party. So now they are endorsing Adam Laxalt. But then at the same time, they're saying, we rescind our endorsement of Catherine Cortez-Masto. And ladies and gentlemen, in my own state, the police union at the state level has endorsed the Democrat who is a cancel the police Democrat, because the current sitting governor of Maryland spoke with the police and encouraged them to support and endorse the Democrat, because he was such a baby that he didn't like the fact that his chosen candidate lost in the primary. So, folks, as you can imagine, in my own state, guess what the Democrats doing? The Democrats not debating. And when the Democrats finally do debate, they wait until the last possible minute to debate, after people have already started to mail in their absentee ballots. So voting has already started to occur, and they figure, well, what can a debate really do to damage, because people have already made up their minds because they're already voting. And so an example of good government, as opposed to what they're doing in Nevada with respect to crime and punishment, after Hurricane Ian occurred. 4 alleged looters in Southwest Florida were charged and arrested for looting. And of course, you have DeSantis saying, look, this is not going to stand. You're going to get arrested and you are going to be convicted and you're going to serve time as a result of doing the crime. And there is no better learning tool and teaching moment than to put someone behind bars who has broken the law so blatantly and tried to exploit people, of all things, in a hurricane, and go and try to clean out their houses. And so that's an example of good government. That's a Republican. I'm sure his Democrat opponent is not going to ever do that. The first thing she's going to do is say, oh, it's racism that caused them to loot those houses. You know, it's like, no. They didn't choose houses based on the person's color to loot. They chose to loot houses because there was an opportunity, because the people weren't there, because Hurricane Ian wiped so many people's houses out. And then we have in Pennsylvania, another race, same thing. John Fetterman versus Dr. Oz. Fetterman won't debate Oz. This is even more unique because with Fetterman, not only is he being told by the Democrat National Committee not to debate because he's incredibly stupid, but he's also being told not to debate because he had a stroke and he can barely talk. And clearly he is impaired. His mind is impaired. There's no doubt about it. His speech is impaired. But this happens with strokes, right? It's unfortunate, but it makes the guy unfit for office. If you had a debate, you would actually be able to see if he were truly impaired. But you can't compare and contrast someone when you don't have a debate. So in the Daily Caller, Pennsylvania Senate polls tighten as Dr. Oz hits the campaign trail. So Republicans have decided across the country to just hit the campaign trail and campaign like crazy and talk about the issues. And the Democrats, of course, have run the opposite way and are hiding and have decided not to, across the country, debate whatsoever. So several recent surveys have shown Republican Pennsylvania Senate candidate Mehmet Oz polling within 4 points of Democrat John Fetterman after Oz trailed by more than 6 points throughout most of the summer. So it's kind of interesting. It looks like, let me see, Fox News poll says Fetterman is +4. He was +11. F&M says he was +13. He's now +4. And Trafalgar says Fetterman was +4. Now Fetterman is +2. And Emerson says Fetterman was +4 and now is +2. So if you took the average, it would say that Fetterman is up +3, which is kind of interesting. And so we're telling you this, ladies and gentlemen, because we're giving you examples of key races across the United States where there is no debate and there is no media interested in calling out the individuals who refuse to debate and or calling out the individuals and asking them about their stance on particular issues. The media is only interested in going after the Republicans. Now, you might say, Mark, that's old news. We know that. We know that. But when you combine this with no debate, ladies and gentlemen, it demonstrates to you how we got a Joe Biden, right? Now, to be fair, Donald Trump did shoot himself in the foot in many cases during the election. And I think that is true. And I think we could go over those at some other time and talk about that. But in these particular races, the Democrat Party is in this strange place where they know everything they're doing is wrong. They have to. And so, because if you won't debate, you have to know what you're doing is wrong. And for some reason, we have complete silence, complete and utter silence by the media, because I never see anything about this except in a couple of news sources. Like it's either Fox News or it is Newsmax or it is the Daily Caller, just a few news sources where you have this information. Never do I see this on CNN or MSNBC or CBS or ABC or NBC. Have you ever seen any of those news outlets talk about the fact that candidates aren't debating and how awful it is for our republic?